Hey everybody, wanted to talk today about time management and how important it is to maximize your productivity and balance your business with your life. It can get kind of crazy in the beginning, guys. I totally get it. When I first started coaching, I was trying to balance my normal everyday life, which included working way more than 40 hours a week, which of course I had to balance somehow with building this business, getting a workout in, spending time with my significant other, and doing those other things I like doing, like maybe going to dinner with my friends, grabbing coffee, all that good stuff. And it was crazy in the beginning for me because I wasn't sure how to make it work. I wasn't sure how to organize my day so that I was being productive and hitting everything I needed to do to get done while still being able to have some time to breathe and relax and enjoy the day. So that's what this call is about. Hopefully sharing some resources and tips and tools that can help you get a grasp on your own business and what's going on in your life. This quote right here, I want you to remember it and just do not become a victim to the latter part of this, where your day is managing you. Your day is running you. You do not want to be that kind of person. When I first saw this quote, manage your day so your day doesn't manage you, it absolutely resonated with me 100% because my day back in the day was absolutely running me. I had no control over what I was doing. I was working really hard at work. I would come home and just start slaving away working on Beachbody stuff with no rhyme, reason, no plan, just like trying to get some work done as much as possible. And it actually ended up being more unproductive for me because I didn't have a system in place. So my day was really, I was a slave to my day. I would come home, I would do all this work. And then before I know it, it would be 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm falling asleep, having to get up and do it all again the next day. It was exhausting. And there's no reason why you need to be able to or there's no reason why you should be doing the same thing with your business. You should have a plan in place so that you can enjoy your day and enjoy watching your business flourish to get you to a full-time coach status. When I became a full-time coach back in September of this past year, it was great, but it didn't happen just by happenstance. It happened because I was doing things every single day to build me to get me to that point, and I was very focused in when it came to what I was doing. I was very deliberate in my actions to make sure that what I was doing every day was going to move my business forward. And that's what you need to remember. You need to manage that day so that you can have in the future the days that you want where you can relax, you can enjoy your family and friends, you can live that life of freedom that we always talk about. So remember that quote and let it, stick in your brain on those days where they're getting kind of crazy and you're not sure what's happening. Always remember to manage that day and do not let your day manage you. You want to have a plan. You want to work a plan. Having a plan is extremely important. You've got to treat this business just like you would a 9 to 5 corporate job. At those jobs, you have meetings, you have conference calls, you have appointments that you have to do. You don't back out of those, do you? No. So if you don't already have a planner in place, and I don't care what planner you buy as long as it works for you, there's a million options out there. Trust me, so many of them. And I probably own every single one I can tell you about, but it just depends what's best for your life. But find the one that's going to work for you. And in that planner, schedule your workouts, schedule your power hours, your work hours, anything that you need in that planner. When I say work hours, that is the one little tidbit of advice that I can give you that really was a game changer for me, because I would, in the beginning, I was so against having any kind of set work hours because to me, I was limiting how I could help people. But in actuality, that's not the case at all. Having set work hours, which I would always have a morning one, and then at some time in the evening, not every evening, but some evenings, that allowed people to realize when they could reach out to me. And if I didn't get back to them, it was okay, because I don't want to be sitting around having to drop everything and, you know, email people back the minute they email me or text me back, text them back, anything like that. And a lot of times, especially on Facebook Messenger, you have people that want you to drop everything and respond to them right away. But if you have work hours and you check that message once a day and you set that expectation, then that's okay, because guess what? This is a business. It's not a free for all where you're going to just, cater to everybody all the time. And it's okay to create a sense of urgency when you need to, but also, hey, I have work hours this time and that time. Let's set up a scheduled time to talk tomorrow night at 6 p.m. when I have my scheduled work hours to make sure we can cover everything. Then you have a set time again, as you would with your regular job, and you're setting, expectations, which is what you need to do. Set goals to accomplish every single week. Know what you're working toward. If you know you want to be diamond, then you need to have a plan on how you're going to get there. Don't just say, I want to be diamond by the end of the year. Say, I want to be diamond by June 1st. That way you can make a plan every single week of how many coaches you should enroll to work towards that goal, how many challenge packs you should sell, how many coach training groups you should run, or open houses or sneak peeks. Set those specific goals. Remember the whole SMART mentality of goal setting. They need to be specific, measurable, attainable. They need to be realistic, and they need to have a timetable set to them. Every goal needs to be SMART. Remember that. Create a to-do list each night for the following day. May sound a little hokey and you might think, no, I don't think so. But literally sit down before you go to bed, think of all the things you need to accomplish tomorrow, and don't overwhelm yourself with a list of 400 things. Write down 5 to 10 things that you know you need to do. That way you have it down there, and when your power hour comes or your work hours, you already have a plan in place that you can start working from without having to waste time digging through emails or saying you're just going to get caught up on your Facebook news feed, and before you know it, you've wasted the whole time just scrolling. We all know it. We've all done it. Create a to-do list, be prepared, and attack it each morning. Now, this here is a little form that I created after seeing something that my upline coach, Brittany Leggett, had created that was similar. And I decided to use this because when it comes to tracking, you want to be tracking somehow. And a lot of times one form will work for one coach and another tracking form will not work for another one. And I was one of those people really struggling, having a hard time finding one that would work for me. Then I saw the one that she did and I adapted it a bit to apply to me. So when you look at this, this is what I look at in the mornings when I get up for my initial work hour that I do. I look at what vitals, what I got to do for the day, what workout I'm scheduled to do, what flavor Shakeology I want to have on my meal plan, and personal development, what I'm doing for the day. I have 3 main projects that I need to accomplish. 3. Those are my big 3 that I've got to get done, non-negotiable. Every single day I have at least 3 goals. There's those goals, of course, down at the bottom left that I mentioned when it comes to recruiting or more, metric focused goals. That's where I put that information of some of that there. Follow-ups, people I want to connect with, previous customers that they could fall into those categories there. The bottom row, coach touch base. I got to check in with my coaches. Since I'm still living life alongside running this business, I've got to make sure that my personal tasks, I get those done too. And then of course, what do I want to be working on for my blog? So here's an example of how I use it. This is one from back in February, just showing you really quick that particular day I had fixed yoga scheduled. I was enjoying my chocolate peanut butter shake. My projects for the day were the Facebook training group for my new coaches, my 5-day free group called the Indulgence Intervention, which was all dessert based. And then I had a team called content to come up with. My goals, I was really focused on getting Kyle to Success Club 5. And I wanted to make sure my inbox was at 0 by the end of the day because it was a hot mess that day. The follow-ups, most of them were open house attendees, people that had been at my most recent coaching open house. And then there were a couple new groups I wanted to make sure I connected with, new likes on my Sparkle Fitness Babe page. And then also wanted to make sure that Asana was cleared out between February 15th and 21st. Asana is the CRM database that I use to track everything. In case you do not know, that is the one that I love and recommend. My coaches to touch base with that week, or that day, I'm sorry, would be Nancy and Holly. And in the personal tasks that day, I wanted to make sure that I followed up on some donations for the Shamrock 5K and 15K race that I race direct. I needed to meal prep. I needed to hit the storage unit to drop off my payment for the month and get done with laundry. And then I wanted to blog about black bean brownies. So that was just a look at how my day was planned out when it came to goals. You want to have some kind of tracker set up. And when you look at this little slide here, there's quite a few little options that are broken down for you as far as the trackers. There's 2 specific Beachbody ones. There's one that I created at the bottom left there, my little sparkle tracker. And I have also the engagement tracker that Lindsay Matway had shared a while back. All different pieces of information on all of them, all different ways to track. I recommend that you find one that you like that tracks what you need to have to get to the goals that you have set. The one thing with me is when you want to have a one-on-one call, you've got to have a tracker completed just so I can see what we need to work on. As leaders, we can't help you grow without knowing where you're struggling and where your deficiencies are. So this is going to be a great way to help us and also help you make sure that you're doing what you need to do every day to grow that business. The second thing you want to do when it comes to balancing your time, you want to make sure that you're scheduling in that power hour and you want to focus on a power hour. Power hours, 1 hour increment of time where you are flexing your business muscles like a boss. And when I say that, I mean you are just rocking it, bringing it all to the table, getting things done. This list here, 10 things that I recommend doing on your at your power hour time frame. If you are, really struggling with getting things done, I recommend highly you setting your alarm on your phone for 6 minutes for every single one of these. So number one, you go to add new friends to your daily list. You schedule 6 minutes. And if for some reason you're not done when that 6 minute alarm goes off, then you move on to the next one. And you keep doing that throughout the course of this whole list. You want to be hitting these topics because these are what's going to help you build your business. You want to be adding those friends. You want to be connecting and reconnecting, building a strong rapport. You want to be inviting people to something. You want to check in with those challenge groups, those training groups. You want to complete the assignments if you're the challenger. And if you're running the group, you want to make sure that any questions or issues are answered. Make sure that you're responding to messages and checking in with your team pages. If you have a coach downline, you want to make sure that you're checking in with those coaches to make sure they're doing okay. Of course, check in the online office, review your new leads, follow up with customers, create and schedule posts for your next day. You want to knock that personal development out, of course, and then review your personal page and your likes page to make sure that any comments don't go unanswered. Very easy. The third thing you want to do, guys, you want to rock your resources. Find your soulmate scheduler. Schedulers have been a godsend to me, and the scheduler is something that you can either pay for or use a free resource to schedule your posts in your groups, on your personal page, whatever you would like to do. There's so many out there. I've used pretty much all of them, but my main one that I use now is one called Buffer. They have a free version, but I use the Awesome program with them, so it's only $10 a month, very reasonable. But there's also some schedulers like Hootsuite that are free. Meet Edgar is one I've used in the past as well. Sendable, there's a lot, but find one that works with your needs that you like, so you can have a database help you keep your pages and your groups in line. Use a CRM. I mentioned earlier Asana. There's quite a few CRMs out there. That would stand for Contact Relationship Manager. It's a way that you are going and following up with your clients, so you can see who you need to talk to, who you need to email, who's falling through the cracks. It just helps you stay organized with notes too. Don't assume you're going to remember everything about every single person. When you start getting 5,000 friends, it's going to be really difficult remembering who said what sometimes. Create a posting blueprint, which I'm going to show you mine here in a second. And then, of course, I already mentioned become BFF with your phone alarm. That phone alarm system really does help, guys. When I mentioned a posting blueprint, this is an example of the blueprint I use for the week. So I have an idea of what I want to be talking about with blogs every single week, Facebook, Instagram, and any kind of training groups and marketing I want to do. I do that to keep me on track with where I need to spend my time and focus. So that way, when I am during my work hours and during that power hour or anything else, I know already a direction I want to go to. I'm not sitting there trying to have, come up with creative content during that time that I already have limited and scheduled towards other things. So have some kind of a blueprint that gives you the direction so you know what you want to do. Your call to action at the end of this call is to evaluate what you're currently doing with your time management system and send me an email of what you're struggling with the most. Honestly, you may not even know where you need help, and that's okay, but you need to be real with yourself. If you are spending your power hour just cruising through your Facebook newsfeed the whole hour, that's not productive. If you're not inviting anybody during that time frame, that's not productive. You need to be real with what's going on so that we can help you as your leaders get into a better system. Systems differ for everybody. That's the last thing I can tell you about this, guys, is that even though things work for me, like I mentioned in this call, any other leader you talk to, they could tell you something totally different. And it's all about finding something that works with your lifestyle and your organizational style, and your business process. For me, I really need to have those trackers. I need to have those things on paper to visually see. I need to have that alarm go off to tell me, Katie, get going on something else. Sometimes it's very simple little things, but to have that plan in place, it keeps me more focused. And like I said before, it helps me be more deliberate on my actions and what I'm doing. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to be getting things done in a much more effective time schedule and not waste time. And the biggest thing, looking back on my career with coaching, I would waste time is obviously doing that stupid scrolling on Facebook or Instagram that was not really, I wasn't doing anything with it. I was just scrolling, trying to get caught up on things. You need to be cognizant of those kind of actions and how those could really deter you in your focus and your productivity, and then make you feel like you're not doing enough, because that is not enough to build a business just scrolling through a newsfeed. You need to be having very specific plans in place to get to where you want to be. So evaluate your current time schedule, what you're doing, what's working, what's not working, and then let me know where you're struggling, because I want to make sure that I can help you. Of course, just get to that point that you want to be at so that you feel more comfortable with your business. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.